Hey, it's me, MLB. Here's chapter 110 of Rapid Fate Online, and this one's titled An Old Acquaintance. Now, you said, leaning forward and resting your elbows on the table, who goes first? Tamajiki looked at Praetorian. What do you know about BB? He asked directly. I hadn't heard of them when I was approached to join. I originally was part of a smaller team of guards who did protection work for different people. We were en route one day when a band of thieves attacked. The man who approached me after I fended off the thieves was part of BB, and he said he could see potential in me, much like how I saw potential in you, Tamajiki, or Butterfly. Tamajiki nodded. So he explained about the contracting system to get me leveled up quickly, and it sounded good to me. It was all very straightforward, and once I'd gotten to a higher enough level guard, he uncontracted me to an initiation ceremony for those who wanted to become part of the BB Guild. An initiation ceremony? That sounds a little medieval, doesn't it? You cut in. He nodded. It was quite a formal event, and judging by the powerful people around me, I knew this guild was serious. Did you get initiated by the head of BB? Tamajiki asked, a small glimmer of hope dancing through his words. Unfortunately, no. As I said before, no one's ever met the person at the top, Praetorian replied. So you weren't just covering for the head of BB then? Tamajiki nodded in confirmation. I heard the same thing too, you added in. So, Praetorian asked, changing subjects. May I ask what this is all about? Well, this initially started with us, Tamajiki looked at you, finding a shipwreck off the coast of our honeymoon island. A ship? Belonging to BB? Praetorian asked. You and Tamajiki nodded. Still looking for that. Which level was this? He asked. 36, Tamajiki replied. Can I ask though, what was it doing on that level? There are wormholes in the oceans that BB have mapped out and can get from one level to another via the sea, much like the building that connects multiple levels through underground passageway, he divulged. Okay, but is this actually part of the game, or are these just being planted by BB? You asked suspiciously. The legend says that they were created by the leader of BB. He has the power to warp things in-game, Praetorian said. It's him. You deadpanned immediately. It's definitely him. This is all fitting together. That bastard lied to us. I'm sorry, who is this? Praetorian asked. Who are you talking about? A while back, we had a run-in with a player who used to be a coder for Rapid Fate Online, but he didn't like that people were playing the game differently to how he wanted them to. Instead of striving to clear all levels, some players were just messing around and having fun, so he was creating glitches in-game where higher leveled monsters were being let loose on lower levels and slaughtering people there, Tamajiki said. Praetorian replied thoughtfully. This does seem to be connected, because whenever the high priests... I'm sorry, high priests, you cut in. Is this an in-game class, or are these the higher-ups in BB calling themselves high priests? They claim they've been divinely appointed by the leader as high priests to deliver messages to the subordinates, Praetorian said. Oh, this is totally him, you said. It's definitely Anarchy Lord. Please continue, Tamajiki said to Praetorian, reaching out to pat your hand sympathetically. They read from parchment, he said. Their instructions are always written out, and it looks like it's coded, but they're able to read it. I did hear that a voice tells them what to say. It is, man, you said again. And there's no physical leader, I bet. He's probably playing from outside the game, dictating into it, like, I don't know, like a voice that speaks from some kind of cloud or godly-like presentation, you said, waving your hands flippantly. What did you say? Praetorian asked you with surprise. A speaking cloud? Yeah, probably, he replied with a smirk. I know this sounds crazy, but I seriously think you're onto something. I've heard whispers about a blue cloud formation, but that's about all I know. Call me an oracle because I know all, you said with delight, jumping up so you could do a fist pump into the air. Tamajiki still had so many questions, but also was amused at how excited you were getting about all of this. Okay, let's think rationally, he said calmly, mainly meaning for you to stop dancing around like a fool and sit down so they could continue to talk. This Anarchy person sounds like bad news. Praetorian said, rubbing his chin. I've seen the bad side of the contracting system, such as how your previous master was treating you. Tamajiki nodded. Yes, I've been intending to pay him a visit in my other avatar to see his reaction. Praetorian chuckled deeply. I can tell you right now his pants would change colour to brown. And what about that asshole who hit you with a bat when we were trying to get contracted? You cut in. I'd like to go back and give him a good whack over the back of his head, see how he likes it. And there have been another of untoward things happen to us, Tamajiki said, but the buying and selling, plus mistreatment and abuse to actual players in here, is what makes me want to see him behind bars. Glitching monsters is one thing, but to delete logout buttons to prevent people escaping is another. I'm sorry, what? Praetorian asked with surprise. Yeah, my logout button disappeared when they had me in the cage, you said, with an almost pout on your face. I see that we need to deal with this person swiftly, Praetorian said. I know I still bear the emblem of BB, but please consider me an ally now. This needs to stop. Tamajiki nodded and stood up with his hands outstretched towards Praetorian for a handshake, which the burly guy instantly returned. This might require the help of people out on the outside to track down Anarchy Lord so that he can be properly detained, but for now we need to try and find out where he operates from, in-game, and try and stop anything else from happening. First of all, let me do this, Praetorian said, swiping his menu open and cancelling the contract with Tamajiki. You're now no longer bound to me, and so they can't track you, as they're able to track me through my emblem, so would assume that you'd be with me. And there ends chapter 110. Stay tuned for chapter 111.